Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Clapping hands is as encouraging as guiding hands. Can I get my dose of encouragement from you all? Thank you. A Bollywood movie which was released in the year 1965, and it is directed by Vijay Anand, not Arvind. Okay, and it has bagged all the Filmfare Awards that time, and even it's an India's official Oscar entry. Can anyone guess which movie am I talking about?
Surely.
1965.
Right.
Oh my God, you are right, sir. Even without telling the lead actor and the actresses, you found it right. A big applause to PM IST. Right. In that movie, it clearly explains a journey without guide is a journey where dreams collide. Let us not distract the speaker with your mobile ringtones. Please put them on silent mode. Give me thumbs up once it is done. If you wish to step out or if you wish to step in, do so when you hear an applause. Kindly refrain speaking on divisive topics such as sex, politics, and religion. As I move on, as some of you know already, she is a daughter of an Indian Air Force professional. Okay? And during her childhood days, her residence gets changed quite often because of her father's deputation to multiple Indian cities. Sometimes he will be posted to a highly remote area or even on the borders where he cannot take his family along with. As a daughter, one side, she has immense pride as her father is serving to our nation. On the other side, she is missing the love and the affection of her father. Can anyone guess how did they overcome that part? Any guesses? Sorry?
Being more busy.
Mother.
Okay, mother, yeah, mother, sister, and brother, friend, yeah. What her father, when he is away for 2 to 3 months or maybe 6 months, he used to write letters, long letters to her, to his lovable daughter, through Indian post. She gets the love and affection through those letters, and even she is preserving those letters which her father sent a lot of years before. With a great salute to her father, let us welcome the proud daughter and of course the president of our club, Toastmaster Amrit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imtiaz, for reminding me of those lovely letters. They have a lot of emotional memory, and they bring all those emotions in me. Thank you. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
How are you all doing today?
Fine.
On top of the world. Thank you, sir. You have just infected the entire room. Yeah, it's like all right. I call to order meeting number 1532. May I request our Secretary, Toastmaster Abhinava, to please come and share the minutes of previous meeting.
Good evening, my dear friends.
Good evening.
Last week was a very beautiful meeting. We had a very strange, nonetheless, but very exciting event going on last week. It was called the Tall Tales speech section, where the participants gave very true and very accurate, with no exaggeration speeches. So, for the awardees of the last week, after a very intense speaking competition, the best speaker award went to Toastmaster Shastri. Man, what a handsome fellow. The best role taker award went to Toastmaster Shivangi Bhatt for the Toastmaster of the Day role, and the best auxiliary role taker award went to Toastmaster Alan Arana for the grammarian role, and the best table topic award went to Distinguished Toastmaster Vijay Anand. We also had a very surprise education session given by Distinguished Vijay Anand on unnecessary pauses and all kinds of counter being very scary stuff. Other than that, and after which our gracious president ended the meeting very swiftly, and now she's going to start the meeting very swiftly. Back to her.
Thank you. Members, are there any changes in the minutes? The minutes stand fast. Now I can see a few new faces in the crowd. May I request all guests to please rise? Right. Thank you everyone for joining the legendary Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Members, how do we welcome our guests? Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed today's meeting. Please take your seats. I was just talking to one of our members who told that, one of our very senior members who told that how in a recent meeting, which was to celebrate the 50 years of completing his master's in commerce, MCom, and he presented a speech, and he said it went out really fabulous, and he called it the gift of Toastmaster. That is how he was able to deliver a splendid speech. That is what Toastmaster can do to us, and it has transformed many lives. You would hear more of those stories as you keep coming. Now today we are celebrating Father's Day. Although Imtiaz has already spilled some beans, but I would like to talk about the story of a young little boy from rural Punjab. He was very little, he was just about 5 years old when his mother passed away. His father remarried, and this new woman was a true and perfect picture of a stepmother. So definitely the young boy had a very difficult childhood. Every time he had any troubles, he would turn to books, and that is where he would find his solace. As he grew up and he completed his 12th, he wanted to go for further studies, but his family did not support him. He was a little disheartened, and he started looking for some job opportunities. He did random jobs here and there, but he was not satisfied. Around the same time, the National Defense Forces were looking for some young people to join the services. The Airmen Selection Board, they went to Jalandhar and they were on a recruitment mission. Our young fellow came to know about it, and he went and traveled to Jalandhar, appeared for the exams and cleared it. He joined the Indian Air Force. Since he was a science student, he got into technical trade. But as all defense personnel, they have to undergo a physical training. So the first couple months were rigorous physical training, whereas they say that the forces, they make your arms and legs straight. so that you are ready to take up any challenge or task that are assigned to you. After completing the physical training, he got into another intensive training for 3 years for electronics engineering. After completing that, he joined the on-ground services and became a specialized into radar fittings. And that is how he was usually posted to remote locations. When he joined the services, very soon he realized that the knowledge of written and verbal English is really, really important for in defense services. So he wanted to continue his studies. He came to know that luckily defense has ties with a lot of big universities with which you can, and the defense personnel can continue their studies. But there is a catch. You have to do a minimum of 5 years of service, and you have to clear a series of exams. He waited for 5 years. During those 5 years, he got married, he started his family, but his passion for studying did not die. After 5 years, he appeared for the exams and cleared them in just one go and went on to do his bachelor's and master's in English. He continued to write for station magazines and keep on speaking for many different forums. Now, as I know by now, you know that I'm talking about my father, Mohinder Singh. He has inspired and he has been the beacon of light and hope for my siblings and for me throughout our life. And I can today say that the primary reason I am here at Toastmasters is because of him. Because I really want to be able to write and speak like him. Right now, I don't think I'm even 0.1% close to what he is. Just like me, we have someone here who also has a beacon of light in her life. And that is her brother. Her brother has been a constant support and guide and mentor throughout her life in all challenges and difficult situations. Her brother's name is Bharat. She is not only grateful to her brother, but she also thinks that he is lakho mein ek, like 1 in a million. This fellow who is coming next to speak, she joined the club in December 2024. And in just a very short span of time, she took up the role of Sergeant at Arms and VP membership. And both the roles have been played. VP Public Relations. Thank you for that smile, Shreya. She has not only done the role splendidly, but she has exceeded everyone's expectations. So ladies and gentlemen, please join your hands in welcoming the Toastmaster of the day, the young, the bright, and the beautiful. Toastmaster Bhavna S.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amrit, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, members and guests.
Good evening.
Can't hear you properly.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Good evening. Today at Bangalore Toastmasters Club, we are celebrating Father's Day. So I wish every father in the room and every future dad in the room a very happy Father's Day. Okay, before we start, I want you all to do a quick activity which you all will be doing throughout the meeting. Which is, you will all give every speaker who comes on the stage a huge round of an applause, and every time he or she walks away, you will again give him or her a huge round of an applause. And for 3 people, like top 3 people who give the loudest clap, I have something for you all at the end of the meeting. Can we have a demo clapping? Good job, everyone. So I will be expecting the same throughout the meeting. Okay, give me a quick shout out to the first thing which pops up in your mind when you think about your dad. Everyone. One thing.
Kind, strict, very kind,
Very kind.
unconditionally kind.
Unconditionally kind.
Hardworking.
Hardworking answer?
Mockingbird.
Talking good?
Mocking.
Mockingbird. Okay. Okay, mine is improviser. It was my 18th birthday and it was also COVID lockdown. And I did not wish for any extravagant birthday special. I just wanted a normal birthday cake. But then because of COVID restrictions, there was no cake available in the entire market. The entire city was shut down. So my birthday was as boring as a Monday morning. And then I went to sleep, and exactly at midnight, my dad wakes me up. He's like, Bhavna, wake up. And then I wake up and then I see not a cake, but a beautifully arranged cut slices of mangoes and a small candle on top of it. There was no icing, just normal mangoes cut. And that truly made my birthday special. And even years later, now, when my dad is no longer with me, I still hold on to that memory. And I still remember what he taught me, his attitude, which was, so what if things doesn't work out? We always have other ways to work things out. And that is my beacon in my life. So, I am very grateful for my dad. Now, almost 100 years back, a YMCA worker named Ralph C. Smedley had the same kind of an attitude. He wanted to help people improve their public speaking skills. But then he had no fancy setup. All he found was his basement in Santa Ana, California. And then he made it up. Now, that small idea has become our guiding hand. We all, nervous speakers in the room, that has been our beacon. Now, and then, it has been guiding us through years, and now here we are. We have over 150 plus 14,000 plus clubs in 150 plus countries and over 270,000 members. That small little incident where somewhere someone thought, so what if we don't have fancy things, we can still make things up, even with the smallest little thing, has been the guiding light so far in Bangalore, in Toastmasters, and as well as in our Bangalore Toastmasters Club. For the benefit of the guests, the meeting structure has 3 segments. The first part is the prepared speeches section, where the members come with prepared speeches and then they deliver it. And then the second part is the most interesting one, which is a table topic session. And then the third part is a general evaluation. I will be introducing the general evaluator at the end of the session. And guiding the general evaluator will be 3 guiding hands who will be the tag team. The T for timer, A for our counter, and G for grammating. Our timer's guiding hand is his father, who taught him patience and calmness, and which is exactly what he needs, because for his role he requires all those qualities now. He's a software developer in GSK. Please put your hands up and give him a warm round of applause as we call upon Toastmaster Lickett to read out his guidelines.
So how many people's dads here early in the morning used to shout at you if you weren't ready on time, if you were leaving somewhere? All of you? Okay. So it's going to be.
As a dad, I shout to my son.
So today I'm going to be taking back over. So I'll be your timer. So the prepared speeches will be 5 to 7 minutes long. So at 5 minutes I'll be raising the green card. At 6 minutes will be the yellow card. And at 7 minutes will be the red card. And the table topics will be 1.5 minutes. At 60 seconds I'll be raising the yellow card. And at 90 seconds I'll be raising the red card. So yeah, back to you.
Remember, members, the highest class, you all have a surprise in the end. Okay, moving on. Our counter for today is a R&D engineer. He spends his entire day improving his efficiency, and today he will be improving our efficiency by looking out for clutch words. Please welcome Toastmaster Muralidhar to read out his guidelines.
Thank you, Toastmasters. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Today, I walked into the campus assuming that I have the simplest job to do, to just sit and listen. But thanks to our upcoming president, I got a role to play today as an counter of the day. So, still, however, it's a simplest job as well as among the tasks to just count the surveillance of the verbal surveillance of us, ums, and the tongue words, and also the repeated words from the speakers. I'll be keeping a track of every speaker's repeated words and the report at the end of the meeting, thus helping the evaluation for the speaker to have a careful improvisation for the future. Thank you.
Our grammarian for today is a practicing investment banker and also an enthusiastic trekker and a cyclist. Today he will be our grammarian. I call upon Toastmaster Pradeep to read out his grammarian guidelines.
Let me quickly tell you a story. It was very cloudy, hazy, nobody could see anything. Very low visibility. It was a huge ship. They were going. And suddenly there was a light. There was a huge light peering at them through the haze. The first seaman went up to the captain and said, "Captain, Captain, Captain, there is some big object in front of us and it's not moving." The captain said, "Did you radio to them that we are a ship?" Seaman promptly said, "Yes, sir, I did." The captain, "And what happened?" "Sir, they didn't move." The captain said, "Did you tell them that we are the biggest warship?" The seaman said, "Yes, sir, I did." "And they did not move." Then again, the captain said, "Did you tell him I am the USS Admiral and I have enough guns to blast him off?" The seaman said, "Yes, sir, I did." Then they didn't move. Finally, the captain said, "Hut, let me talk to them." "Hello, listen. This is the captain of the USS Admiral speaking. You better move." The voice came on the other side. "This is the lighthouse of the small island. I cannot move. You better move." Who was the hero of the story? Not the captain. Somebody said something. The lighthouse. The lighthouse. Not even the person. The person is the character in between. The lighthouse was the hero. Why? Because today's word of the day is beacon. A beacon is a source of light. You never know where the source of light is going to come from. It might be a physical light, it might be a metaphysical light, somebody being a source of light to you, a guidance. Look around, you might find a beacon either on stage or sitting next to you, and you might discover something that you learned today. Ladies and gentlemen, today my role as a grammarian is to make sure the stage is utilized for a good usage of the language. And if there is a not so good usage of the language, I will make a note of that and I will give you suggestions on how to improve that. Agreed? So, make the best use of the stage. And with that, back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pradeep. That is an interesting take to make in the board. Moving on, before I call upon the first speaker, I will request his evaluator to read out his guidance. His evaluator is a musician, a singer, and a retired bank employee. He runs after taking over his coffee estate, he's running his own coffee estate now. Please join your hands and welcome Toastmaster Richard to read out the guidelines.
The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using the vocal variety or the body language to enhance a speech. A speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you.
Our first speaker for today is a chartered accountant. He has an experience of over 20 years. His guiding light in his life was his grandpa, who gave him a simple yet a powerful message, which was to greet everyone with warmth and smile. And I assure you that he still follows that, because every time you greet him, he gives you that same simple, warm, bright smile. Please, his speech title is 20 Minutes Choice. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Chandrasekhar.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Can I request all of you to close your eyes for a few seconds? Imagine someone who's very dear to you, who you love the most, is trying to cross the road at the Nexa showroom, 100 meters from here. It is very difficult to cross this road because at peak times, because of A, the relentless stream of vehicles, and B, the drivers are in a hurry and they're least bothered about you. The person you love the most now waits 5 long minutes to cross the road very helplessly. And the situation is akin to a turbulence which you encounter when you go in an aircraft. So hope you understand how's the feeling. And finally, when I'm just about to reach the other end of the road, a scooter brushes and the person is in a bit of pain. Can I ask you all to open your eyes now? Fortunately, this has not happened. But unfortunately, this is the reality, daily reality in Bangalore. There are a few game changers which are our control on what we can do. How many of you have traveled in a metro? Fantastic. Do you know one metro train comfortably packed, comfortably filled, packs around 1,500 passengers? If the same people take a car, and assuming 2 persons in each car, it will take 750 cars to transport the same number of passengers. Just picture this, one metro train, 750 cars. And if I line these cars bumper to bumper, it will stretch from here, Ashirwad, to the Kappan Park metro station. That's the traffic one metro train prevents. But when I speak to people, the typical response I get is, Maga, bro, a little inconvenient, Maga. So if I take a two-wheeler, it will take me 30 minutes. But if I take a metro, I have to walk to the metro station, waiting time, interchange, Again, walking from the destination, from the station to the destination, it takes you 50 minutes, 20 minutes more. A little inconvenience, I agree. I have another question for you, which I want you to think deeply and answer, just like AI. Do you all love Bangalore? Not a resource.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I expected. Isn't it our duty to do something in return for our beloved city? Yes. Can we give up a little convenience to build a better Bangalore?
Yes.
Yes, fantastic. If it's very inconvenient, say there are senior citizens or children or an emergency situation, or maybe the station is very far away, understandable. But the default mode of transport should be public transport. Okay, that's the first game changer. The second game changer. Suppose the destination is not very far, maybe less than 2 kilometers. Can we all walk?
Yes.
Again, I think.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. At least I'm getting a few yeses. Okay, now finally to the last 3 game changers. We have 3 R's. Okay. One is the respect the rules, respect the people, and respect the system. Respect the rules. No jumping signals, no riding on the footpath, and no driving on the wrong side. That's the first R. The second, respect the people. If you are driving and if you observe people waiting to cross the road, be a little considerate. I know, I think I just mentioned the first incident. You just go, but be a considerate. No one will stop for them, okay? That's one. Second, if you are driving and there are 2 ways to reach your destination. One is the main road, and second is the residential layout, okay? Which is the shortcut. Take the main road, even if it means a few minutes more. Third one, if you have to drive in the residential areas, drive slowly. There could be kids playing, or there could be senior citizens crossing the road. And finally, no honking in school zones, hospital zones, or residential areas unless it's a safety emergency. The last R, respect the system. If there's a traffic jam ahead, continue waiting on the left-hand side. Don't go on the other side and aggravate the traffic jam, which typically happens. And the last, park your vehicles in properly designated areas and not which will hinder the flow of traffic. How many of you have heard the song Teri Mitti Mein Mil Java from the movie Kesari? Nice, very good. Couple of lyrics from this movie, from this song go like this. है मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं जो तेरे लिए सो दर्द सहे महफूज रहे तेरी आन सदा चाहे जान मेरी ये रहे न रहे. Oh my beloved land, I have no regrets even if I suffer 100 pains for you. Let your honor remain safe and intact even if I am alive or not. I am not asking for such a sacrifice. What I am asking is for a change in mindset where you consider the well-being of others and above all, our city and our country. Picture this transformation. Imagine walking to your local bakery without looking over your shoulder for speeding scooters. Children walking safely to schools. Senior citizens crossing the roads without fear. Pollution receding. Congestion easing up. And Bangalore transforms from a traffic nightmare to a role model city. The beacon for other cities to follow. And this movement starts with us today, not tomorrow. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, back to me.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chandrasekhar, for motivating us to be better citizens. The next evaluator is my mentor. She's also a tech lead and she's one of the most analytical people I know. Her recent hobbies are reading special books. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Priyanka to read out the guidelines.
Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and your guests. This project has 2 purposes. One is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envision mentoring, and second is for the member to share some aspects of a previous experience as a protege. Timer, please note it is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you.
I can hear the applause fizzle away. The next speaker has a love-hate relationship with Bangalore. Now, I know Chandrasekhar told us we all should love Bangalore, but he has a little love-hate relationship. He is working in DTDC. He has been living in Bangalore for almost 5 years. His guiding hand is his parents, who always gave him the freedom of choice. His father's simple advice was, if you want to do it, do it. Just why think about it? Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Nitesh with speech title Invisible Architects.
In a small town in coastal India, one little kid was sitting in his classroom and constantly looking outside his window. His teacher, science teacher, Mr. Siva Subramaniam Iyer, noticed it. He came close to him and asked, "What are you doing?" The kid looked at him and said, and pointed towards the direction of the sky and said, "Sir, how do these birds fly?" Now, if it was my school teacher, he would have slapped me then and there. But not. I think not. But not that one. He took the entire class to the seashore the next day and showed them how birds fly, the science behind it. That little moment sparked a fascination for flying in that little kid's mind. He wanted to become a pilot. He decided to become an Air Force pilot. He tried his best, he could not become one. But he did become the missile man of India and also our ex-president. Yes, he is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. In his speeches, in his books, he has extensively written and talked how his science teacher was his first mentor. He has a profound impact in his life. That's what is the power of mentorship. And today, I am going to talk about two such mentors from my life. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
I come from a small town in Jharkhand. It's a tier 3 town. Born and brought up there, had my schooling there as well. I had a very humble beginning, and I was studying in a government state board affiliated school. It was not the best option, but it was the best my parents could do at that time. And fortunately they kept a tutor for me, and he was actually my distant cousin who used to come every evening, used to teach me and my sister science and maths. Now, he was unique. What he used to do is he used to finish the syllabus months before the exams, and then after that he used to tell me, "Why are you just reading these NCERT books? Read some more books, expand your knowledge." He started bringing CBSE, ICSE and some other author's book. Initially I thought, "Are you serious?" I did not say that. I thought, "Are you serious? These books are enough for me. Now I should read more books." But due to the fear of punishment, I had to start reading those books. When I started reading those, my mindset started to shift. I was no longer the guy who was studying just for marks or to pass the exam. I started reading for curiosity, to quench my thirst, to understand things how things happen, from atoms to galaxies, everything. That made me decide that I should pursue a career in engineering. So after my 10th, naturally I decided I should start preparing for engineering along with my 11th and 12th studies. Now this is a very common thing these days, but not at that time, especially not in that town. Everybody who heard was against it. They said, if you are preparing both together, you are going to fail in your 12th. And I was afraid of that. In fact, one of my cousins came to me and said that, "You are preparing for engineering? That's too tough. Why are you preparing for it?" start preparing for something like diploma, polytechnic, you will be able to crack that. That discouraged me a lot. Again, my tutor, I used to call Ranjit Bhaiya, came to the rescue. He told me, Nitesh, look, if you are aiming for something, aim for something higher. You might reach or might not reach, but you are at least somewhere in between. You're aiming for the sky, someday you will reach there, or maybe at least you will reach to the tree. But if you are aiming for the tree, you are never going to reach that sky. That changed my mind that time. And I took the risk. I started preparing with my studies for my engineering. I had a decent success there. I became an engineer, worked for a couple of years. I then again went for my MBA. Then again I started reworking in corporate. Today when I sit and look back, that time I realized that if he was not there, if he had not pushed me, my life would have been totally different. Having a different career or different life altogether, somewhere in the tier 3 town also. He was the first mentor of my life who gave me a direction. Now comes the second mentor. Now, I am an introvert, and the one problem with it, I have always been an introvert. The problem with introverts are that the fear of public speaking. You make them stand up in a crowd and tell them to ask up, to speak, they will literally shit in their pants. I had to do something about that fear, and that brought me to Bangalore Toastmasters Club. 2 years back, my journey started with Bangalore Toastmasters Club with the speech craft program. I was assigned a mentor. Before every speech, I used to have a practice run with my mentor. He used to listen to it, he used to give me feedback, and then I used to incorporate this. Speech after speech, I started becoming better. In fact, before this speech today, I had few practice runs with him. Today, when I'm standing in front of you, I'm far more confident than the person who came to Bangalore Toastmasters Club 2 years back. He refined my public speaking skills, and for that, I sincerely want to thank Toastmaster Alan for his guidance and support that he has provided over the last 2 years. Looking back, I realized that these mentors came in my life at different times, but they had one similar trait. They saw my potential even before I could see. If you speak to any successful person, they will say the same thing. Somebody who trusted in them even before they could trust in themselves. So, if you have such mentor in your life, go ahead and thank them. If you get a chance to become one, do take it. Who knows? Your belief in someone might be the reason when they start believing in themselves. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitesh. That was a very inspiring speech. Now we will be, before that, the password for the voting link is 1926. Now we will be taking a 5 minute. 1926. Yeah. Now we will be taking a 5-minute break for people who want to use the washrooms. It's if you walk out of this door, you will find it towards your right. Thank you. See you all again. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the most exciting part of this meeting. The person I'm going to introduce now is a CA by profession. He's also the long-standing member of Bangalore Toastmasters Club. He's been part of this club ever since its inception, which is approximately over 29 years now. His first boss was his guiding hand. His advice was, numbers can never teach the importance of teaching people with respect or earning it back in return. Even at the age of 92 years, this boss still continues to inspire other people. Carrying that lessons learned from leadership and guidance, he will be guiding us through the most unpredictable part of today's meeting, which is the table topic session. Please put your hands and join me in welcoming today's table topic master, Toastmaster Nitin.
Good evening, Toastmasters and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
Toastmasters session is a beacon for budding Toastmasters, I would say, because this is a place where you can all come and try out your bravery or your impromptu speaking skills. And what I would like to do, especially for the budding Toastmasters, is doesn't matter what you speak, but please come here, stay for at least 1 minute, and speak whatever comes to your mind. It doesn't matter, we are all here to support you. Basic, fundamental is you need to come here, face the public, and talk few sentences about the topic. Of course, to start the session, we have a person who can become into the way the Toastmasters can speak on impromptu. The first person I'm going to call now is Toastmaster Vijay Anand. Can you please come over here? Toastmaster Vijay Anand. What is the most useless invention of all times? Toastmaster Vijay Anand, what is the most useless invention of all times?
I'm a big fan of Chandrasekhar's speech. The metro coaches are fantastic invention, but right now in Bangalore, it seems to be the most useless invention. Sorry, Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The yellow line. I think the only city in India, perhaps the only city in the world, the tracks were ready. The coaches weren't. Chandrasekhar, you're suggesting we have to walk, right? So because of that useless invention, we had, don't get me wrong, it's good, but without the train, what's the point in having the tracks? So the tracks was a useless invention without the train. So what I did, Chandrasekhar, I walked. Colloquially speaking, Nataraja service. I could not board the yellow line, Chandrasekhar, so I got onto the tracks, 20 feet above Bangalore's roads. Useless invention, the tracks, right? Without the train. But don't get me wrong, I'm not against your idea. Let's move on one more thing. The blue line, Silk Board to Kyarpuram, 19 km, phase 1. Phase 2, Kyarpuram to International Airport. They twisted it. Blue line, the trains are ready. No tracks. Fantastic invention. No. So what I did is, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to go to the depot. I'm going to tell them, Chandrasekhar asked me to board this. Open that damn door. So friends, what I want to say is, you need 2 hands to clap. If you have tracks, you need trains. If you have trains, you need tracks. Otherwise, whatever you create is whatever you invent is absolutely useless. Back to the post.
What a confidence in which Vijayanand spoke. I was wondering what is going to speak. Go ahead and make the topic. Wonderful, Vijay. That's very well done. The next topic is who is the most interesting person you have ever met? Who is the most interesting person you have ever met? To Toastmaster Divya Someshwar.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
The most interesting person I've met so far I'd like to say is my principal, Ms. Rubina Farooq at Prasadi School. So even in my speech, I don't know how many of you were part of that. So the way that she would, let's say, inspire an audience is to its utmost very bizarre in a lot of ways, but yet she always delivered her point. So she is one of the most inspiring people I've met, especially in terms of her capability to teach biology as well as English, and at the same time maintain the decorum of the entire school. So I would really like to say, especially even her dressing sense for that matter of fact, she was so particular about whatever she wore, to the point that she would always show up, and I think that's something that that I got to learn. So I would definitely say she's one of the most interesting people I've met. Thank you.
Because every person we come across in our life, everybody has different characters and everybody is unique. It's wonderful to know that we notice and we learn from them. The next topic I'm going to give, and you can see it's all simple topics, not complicated. I want to ensure that people who come here are more easy, more comfortable in giving the talk. The next topic is, what would be your dream job? What would be your dream job to Toastmaster Nimisha Anand?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Right, so dream job is something I've been mulling a lot on in the past 1 or 2 months. As it so happens, I've taken a short break from work. I'm in month 3 of my sabbatical. There are 3 months left. Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about from a health perspective. It's just something I've taken to clear my head after working for 11, 12 years or so. What comes most naturally to me is cooking. And something I've been mulling over as a dream job would be to work in a commercial kitchen or have a cafe or a space I'd love to call my own. So the MasterChef journey, Australia, India, everything looks like a dream and a path I would like to tread towards. So someday if I get an option, I would like to move away from the corporate life and go to a commercial kitchen. That's all for me.
You know, cooking is an activity where you can forget the whole world and you can experiment on a lot of dishes and how it comes. It's something I also enjoy doing it, though I may not be a very good cook. But yes, I agree with you. Nimisha, the next person who's going to come and give a talk is Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan. Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan, what would be the hardest thing to give up? What would be the hardest thing to give up, Toastmaster Vivek?
I'm experiencing this. I can tell the hardest thing to give up is to get yourself distracted. So it might look like you don't want distraction, but ultimately you don't want distraction, but you are in a constant struggle to not peep into YouTube shorts, to not peep into some Instagram. Okay, now there is for people who know GitHub, there is a tool called Get Shit Done. That means you can configure in such a way that I have a tool configured on my laptop which blocks all these Instagram, YouTube, etc. Now, do you know what I'm doing? It is crazy. I am going to chat GPT and asking it to recite some stories and reading that. Like, I'm finding new ways of getting distracted. So I am in a struggle to really figure out how to give up distraction, but it's not happening. I am finding new ways to just get distracted. That's one thing why I come here. At least 2 hours, I don't do anything else, but I just listen. This is the only time I have almost zero distraction.
The next topic, am I too loud? No. I go for this one. The next topic is what is the one thing that you would change about your daily routine? What is the one thing that you would like to change about your daily routine? Toastmaster Suraj Rao.
My fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and my fellow speaker. Every day I used to wake up and not read the newspaper despite coming to my home, because I am currently also going to the Dorekere lake and do jogging for around 2 to 3 hours, and still I'm not so up to date with the current affairs from the newspaper. So the thing that I want to improve myself is read the newspaper daily. I read it through a digital media, but it's not as effective as I read it through the newspaper media. If I go through those things daily, I can get a perspective of the different articles, of the different opinions from the different economists, from which I can get a clear perspective of how the economy is going towards. But currently I cannot read the newspaper, and I plan to implement that.
That's a great thing to hear, because newspapers is a thing of our past right now, and it's something which many people miss reading, because they are got addicted to mobile news. The next topic is going to Toastmaster Shreya Sadhu. Toastmaster Shreya Sadhu, what was the most embarrassing moment of your life? What was the most embarrassing moment of your life, Toastmaster Shreya Sadhu?
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, this is not my most embarrassing moment. So, when I was in 8th standard, I had gone for dancing competition with my fellow friends. And it was a Punjabi dance we were doing. And the size, I have grown, honestly, I'm telling you. But when I was at that standard, I was a little bit more shorter. If you can't believe, do believe it. So, my fellow friends who were dancing with me, they were a bit tall, little bit, just that much. And all are women. So, when they went to order costumes, obviously they ordered for their size and didn't even bother how tiny I was. So, when I went on the stage, started to dance, full on Josh, come in front, I trip in the front with almost in the face. I go back, okay, I think I recovered. Again, I go back, I fall on the back side also. So I think they evened out from falling back and front also. But that must have been my most embarrassing moment. I tell it as a flex because I dance so freely that I tell I don't care. But it was a bit embarrassing, but it was also fun. It was a fun story to tell to all the people and make them at ease. So yeah, that's it.
I have many such stories which I am embarrassing. Okay, the next speaker is Toastmaster Alok Simha. Can you please come out? Toastmaster Alok Simha, what useless facts that you know? What useless facts that you know, Toastmaster Alok?
That stumped me actually. Useless facts that I know.
I mean, I first need to think about what are the facts that I know for me to classify whether they are useless or useful. I think anything that I know as part of my work and I talk about that to people outside, I think anybody who is talking about their work and talking about that to people outside, it becomes useless. Because nobody is ultimately bothered about what you're doing at your work. Say, for example, I can come to people and say, okay, I spoke to 50 people in a day. Now, why would someone be bothered if I speak to 50 people or 100 people? Now, that is my job. If I'm cold calling, I mean, I could say I cold emailed 100 people in a day as part of my job. Why would someone be bothered? And I start talking about that particular software which I use to do it. Now, maybe 10 people, I mean, one person in 10 people may be interested in such a topic, but the rest of them will not care. Likewise, I'm focused on, say, having a diet because I have a certain health condition. Now, that may be useful to 3 people out of 10, but why would the rest care? Because it's just my sob story. So, when you talk about useful facts or useless facts, I think it's first important to know those facts and find them useful for yourself, but I think the majority wouldn't care anyway. So, most facts out there are useless unless you really care.
I think that is very well demonstrated because you can't speak on a topic, then speak about the topic itself, not about the topic, talk about what is useless, what is not. That's wonderfully done. I think that's all we need to learn. If you can't speak, take the topic and say what is useless, what is not useless. If somebody had given me the topic, even I would not have spoken. Difficult. Okay, the next topic is what is your most annoying color? What is your most annoying color, Toastmaster Mohammed Shahaz?
It's hard for. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and dear guests. So, my unknowing color would be. It's hard for me to guess, but I would say it would be possibly red. It's just because of the Bangalore's traffic, and while I am going in the signal, possibly we see a red signal stuck, and we should actually stay as far as I know, like mostly many amount of time, basically coming from the Adagodi side itself. And I think the red is the most color which I hate, only due to the traffic signal, and also why, like, red we get a negative feeling along the way. Like, let's just say a person is just wearing a red color which is out of too much red, the person would get some sort of negative feeling along the way. And it's vary across different person, but for me personally, I just get quite annoyed, not annoyed, like I feel a negative energy by seeing the red color. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, the next topic is if you had a special ability, what would it be? If you had a special ability, what would it be, Toastmaster Govind Kumar?
Good evening, everyone. So, my special ability basically, when I was growing up, it was different. And as I started school and college, every time it's changed. So, as of now, my special ability which I want to have is to fly, just to beat the Bangalore traffic. I know it's too much discussed already today, but still, I think if every one of us will have it, then we will make the traffic jam in the air also. So I just want it for myself. I want to reach office on time and Toastmasters Club on time. So because I'm like traveling from such a long distance, like from Whitefield to here, so I think I deserve to get that special ability. Apart from that, I think we can make it like shift basis also for people, or like we can just loan it to someone. So I think we can do some good work there also. I think think that's all from my side. Thank you.
The next topic goes to Toastmaster Chirant. Toastmasters Chirant, what is the silliest thing that you're pretty good at? What is the silliest thing that you're pretty good at, Toastmaster Chirant?
What is the silliest thing that I am good at? Pretty good.
Good at.
Pretty, okay, good at is right. Because pretty is like setting the bar high. Okay. The silliest thing, I don't recall anything like silly I've done. Okay. If I've done also, I will not share. That is the intention, right? When you go and talk to the people, they should not judge you. That is where you are like always scared about and all those things. When you talk about the silly things you have done it, so maybe like I'll go on a bar that the people start judging me a lot. So that's why, no sir, like you don't look at me like that. I don't have anything to say. See, normally in my childhood, like how I have raised, like whatever I have done, I was always right. So I don't consider that part as I have done any silly things. Okay, and the second part is like where I entered into my job and all those things, or like the adult. So where you don't have an option to do silly things, or if you do it, you don't disclose it. So that is my point. So either I've done the silly things or not, I don't know, or if I know, I'll not be revealing it.
Actually, we do a lot of silly things, but we don't remember, and many times we take it for granted. In the spur of the moment, we do it. Now, the next topic goes to Toastmaster Ratan Shetty. Ratan, you have 1.5 minutes. In 1.5 minutes, please convince the audience that the earth is flat.
The earth is flat. Of course the earth is flat. Just go out, what will you see over there? You'll see a flat earth, right? You'll see mud on the floor and you'll see it to be flat. There's no convincing needed over there. You might say that there was this beacon of science by the name of Galileo Galilei who said that the earth is round. But that was so many years back. Who knows what experiments he did? Did you verify it? No. So today you imagine that I am your beacon and believe what I am telling you. Do you see anything other than flat outside? No. So the earth is flat. Who's going to prove to me that the earth is not flat? Please raise your hands. Within the next half minute that I have. So that proves conclusively that I have been bullshitting for the past minutes. And over to the Toastmaster.
That's very nicely put. Ratan, the next topic is, what celebrity would you most like to switch lives with and why? What celebrity would you most like to switch lives with and why? Toastmaster Tirmalish.
First of all, I don't want to, change my life with any celebrity. So the number of comments and all those things, what they are getting in YouTube or Instagram. By seeing that one, I just I don't want to become one of them, especially if they are some Bollywood actors. Anyone, right, who are acting in some film industry. So I don't want to change with actors. maybe with whom else, celebrity, of course, with politicians especially now. I wanted to tell this point first, but celebrity came into my mind. Politicians, right? Even though there are a lot of corrupted politicians, all those things, they will be getting votes in terms of their by money or something like that, by impressing people, by giving free schemes, all those things. But in the back, people will be scolding all those things with their maybe. If I want to, really, if I get a chance to, change my life with a celebrity, maybe some hardworking people like, Elon Musk or someone like that, with a good insanity, not is some part of psychic behavior sometimes. So I want to know how he's managing all the companies that he's created, like SpaceX, Tesla, all those things. Just for someday, I don't want to become insane. So maybe I want to change my life.
Okay, the next topic goes to Toastmaster Chaitra. Toastmaster Chaitra, what's your favorite way to waste time online? What is your favorite way to waste time online, Toastmaster Chaitra?
So I have a lot of practice doing this, right? Every morning when I wake up, I have a habit of going through the news. And whenever I find something interesting, I somehow get distracted and deep dive into the topic. And I've created this really weird system. It's been going back years when I started getting obsessed with using this app called Obsidian, which lets you take notes. And in the morning, when I find a factoid that I find interesting, I deep dive into the topic, I make notes, and then 2 days later, I've forgotten all about it. Today I actually woke up very inspired, and I decided, okay, this is going to be the month when I start a blog. I've been saying that for the last 6 years. It hasn't happened so far. And I have rough notes prepared about different blog topics. And every topic that I find, I managed to connect it to 5 other topics. And somewhere in this mess, I've wasted a lot of time with 0 blog posts to show for it.
Okay, the next topic is if you could or would rename any country, what would you rename it as and why? If you could or would rename a country, what would you rename it as and why? Toastmaster Naveen.
Good evening, Toastmaster. Good evening, friends and guests. Probably I would like to rename Bhutan, the country Bhutan, as some other name. I think I can tell you what name I could give it. I've been to Bhutan a few years back, probably around 5 to 6 years back. It's a small and a very beautiful country. Probably most of them or few of them might have visited there. It's a small country with 70 to 80% of the land is untouched. It's greenery. 30% of the land people live there. Vegetation is very less. Highly dependent on India for
supply of vegetation, fruits and vegetables in our groceries. They all believe in king rule. King is a very idealistic person, just like Ram. He can visit anyone's door at any point of time without any information or any other security, just like another man. Get into someone's house, know about him, know about their problem, and try to solve it in his own way. So I spoke to many people. 90% of the people say, I love my king. And whatever rule he makes, and everyone believes it. I would like to name the country as Ramraj. not the Bunyan, but Raj. Thank you.
That's well articulated, Toastmaster Naveen. The next speaker is going to be Toastmaster Shashank Bhatt. Toastmaster Shashank Bhatt, what is the most ridiculous thing you have ever done to impress someone? What is the most ridiculous thing you have ever done to impress someone, Toastmaster Shashank?
Can you see this car? The people in the first few rows at least? Yes. I cannot forget in my life how I got this car. Because that was the time I was trying to impress someone. And impress a girl, of course. Guess my age back then? I was in 6th standard. My classmate's father and my classmate had come near our old house. We had a property there, to check and buy the property. I was impressed. Oh, she is going to buy a property. I took out my my cycle. I went out of my compound, took a steep left with high speed, and there was gravel on the road, and I crashed. I literally fell near her feet. I'm surrendering to her. Right now, before even we spoke, we didn't talk much in school, but this was the chance I thought I had. Impress her, full, fast, all that. But the next thing I remember, I am on the ground and I just landed near her feet. I tried to hide my face and escape, and she called my name. And that was not how I planned in my head, saying, wow, Shashank is driving so fast, like Shashank. That was not what I planned, but I somehow tried to escape from there, and hand was like this. I had to ride like this itself because handle was totally bent. And next day, I had a small bandage and he had sleeveless sleeve, half sleeve shirt. People asked me what happened. I said, oh, I slipped and fell down. I was hoping that she was not around because that truth will come out. But yeah, that was in my way. In order to impress someone, I tried going beyond the way, and turns out I should not have done that. Learned it the hard way.
Whenever I give a topic to Toastmaster Shashank, somehow I have a feeling that it is not legal already. He speaks so well, checking anywhere, but that's the strength of Toastmaster Shashank. Now, yeah. Now, the next topic goes to Toastmaster Balakrishna Rao. However far you sit,
I thought I'd hear a topic and then start coming.
If you could make one law that everyone had to follow, no matter how silly it is, what it would be and why? If you could, it's a long topic, so you have time to think. If you could make one law that everybody has to follow in Bangalore Toastmasters Club, no matter how silly it is, just change it now. What would it be and why?
I was already ready with the answer. We told the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. So I'll make it relevant that I think many of our Toastmasters Chandrasekhar had spoken about traffic and all of this. So I'm very keen on making things noiseless in the city, because honking, because I've lived outside abroad for some time.
when I came back, suddenly it was so difficult for me to get adjusted tune. And I can imagine, people who come for as a tourist and all of this, right? When they complain, so honking, I would say, at least to start with, that we Bangalore Toastmasters members make a pledge that we will not honk. Because I put a sticker behind my car. I had already told, please don't honk, but they honk more. But for you members, probably I could ask you to pledge not to honk. Probably we start small way and then it becomes a chain, because as a country we already having so much noise outside, and in between you have traffic. I mean, around the metro station, to be frank, they put please don't honk here, it echoes so much. But still, in that metro station, they honk so much that it becomes so noisy, and noise pollution is something that we usually don't talk of, but it has a lot of impact on your mind, body, internally. So I think it's very right time that it's not only for elders. I know my father always complained, we raise the glass but still here. So I can imagine what people go through. I would say we all have to cooperate, support. Start with the Bangalore Toastmasters Club members.
The last topic goes to the person who made me come here and give the session, Toastmaster Srinivas. Srinivas has been asked me to throw straws. I said, give me last one because I want to take the revenge. Toastmaster Srinivas, what is the weirdest way you have met someone? What is the weirdest way you have met someone, Toastmaster Srinivas?
2 years ago, one fine day, at my office, I did not bring my lunch box. I went with my colleague to have a lunch outside the hotel. It's not a big hotel, it's a small stall, a 8x8 stall. By the time we are approaching, we heard a huge noise. Bang! Everybody started looking at what is this person doing inside the car. It was a Tata Ace. Unfortunately, the person who is a driver of Tata Ace got heart attack. He could not do anything. He just banged his head towards the steering. The person who was working in the hotel, the cleaner boy, who asked me with my colleague, Anna, why don't we save him? Because we didn't know whether what happened to him. He is a person who, given a small hint to us, we can save his life. Because in heart attack, the golden rule is the 15 minutes rule. Within 15 minutes, if you can be able to make the person reach hospital, you can definitely save his life. Once we reach that location, with the help of him and my colleague, who drive to the hospital, which is just 100 meters away, and we saved his life. That person who's still my friend, it's not the person who got saved, the person who cleaned the hotel. And after that, my friend has been connected with him. Instead of cleaner, he started a hotel and still have a hotel in Gandhinagar. If you like to visit, connect with me after the meeting. Thank you.
So we have how many guests here still? Raise your hand. I'm not going to give you any topic. Yes, thank you very much. For the information of guests, now this Toastmasters is a guiding hand for all of you who are interested in learning art of speaking in public. You have seen already the prepared speech session. Now this session is where you come and give a talk on the prompt, on the impromptu. And I'm so happy to be here to conduct. Thanks to the committee and thanks to the VP Education for giving this opportunity. I hope all of you enjoyed today's session, and over to the Toastmaster Bhavana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin. That was very fun and easy. Was it easy? That is up to you all to decide. But that is a very fun-filled session. Please give a huge round of applause. a lot of CAs in the room, and the next speaker is also a chartered accountant by profession. He is also the founder of Finsights Consulting. He is the guiding hand for all the founders who are over there. That is his everyday job. His guiding hand in his life has been his father, whose advice is humility won't defeat you, arrogance will not spare you. Do not worry, his report won't be a tax audit. It'll just be a guiding hand for all of us to improve upon ourselves. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Ganesh Pai as our General Ambassador.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening.
Good evening.
Recently, I got a book called BCG on Strategy. BCG is one of the premier consulting firms, and the book is a collection of their keys, frameworks, and groundbreaking consulting innovations. So one of the articles was how the weekly magazines, they come up with new product every week. And it really fascinated me, right? Think about it. Every week, they have to come up with new product in terms of the content and still how to retain the audience interest and increase their subscriber base. And for a moment, it made me realize that's precisely what we do even at Toastmasters Club, right? Every week, we have to put together a new show. And that starts with Toastmaster Srinivas, the VP Education. And Toastmaster Srinivas has a unique quality. He'll never give speaking slots to those who want to give speeches. and someone like me who doesn't want to give report 10 times. With all that restrictions, still he has to put together an ensemble starcast, week after week. VPPR has to make noise to ensure what we are doing here is worthy of getting a great audience. VP membership, which starts with ensuring our tribe retains and grows. Secretary, who has to preserve the minutes, the videos for posterity. Treasurer, who has to ensure our affairs remain spick and span financially. And President, who has to ensure all of these guys do their job well. And this task is nothing less than running doing a day job, right? A corporate job. Besides, the responsibility is almost equal. And to do this without getting paid for 6 months, these are the guiding hands. Few visible, few invisible. We have been carrying our love for the last 6 months. And as the season 1 2026 of Bangalore Toastmasters is coming to an end in a couple of weeks down the line, let us give a loud round of applause to these guiding hands who carried the club for the last 6 months. Now let's deep dive into the affairs of the meeting. Let me start with Sergeant Adams, Toastmaster Imtiaz. I came in quite early just to do a recce of the place, and by 6 everything was set up, done, dusted. Even if we started at 6 o'clock, I guess we were ready, right? So we ensured to come part earlier and ensured everything was expanded and clean. And what I also liked about Toastmasters Imtiaz was his attention to details. From 6 to 6:30, the tag team changed 5 times. It was like a stock exchange ticker. Every time he would come and update me, Ganesh, this is the latest about grammarian coming on the way. So I also don't know. So he would keep me updated. And also his introduction of using the movie guide to really get us thinking in terms of 1965, what the movement. I think that sort of made us to pause, stop, think, and that's the right way to engage audience at the beginning of the meeting. So very well done. Few suggestions, Toastmasters Imtiaz. Your entry, I thought, was a little bit tentative, and I'm heavily crossing it. It was actually, I thought, you were a new dance move. You could go back and see the video. It almost felt like a Michael Jackson move. So wish if you could take a confident stride, okay, last 2 more openings, right? So wish you were more confident as you walked in. Also, after 6 o'clock, by and large, you were free. Wish you could mingle with that guys, 2, 3 new guests who had come. The role of this agenda council is also to ensure they talk to guests, make them feel comfortable, give a little bit of a background about the Toastmasters meeting so that they stay interested and be there till the end, right? And can you give an intro about Madam President? It was slightly longer than her father's letter to her. Only difference was you delivered personally. Father sent it to India Post. So maybe if you keep the introduction long enough to be interesting and short enough to be intriguing, right? That's the right balance in my view. That said, Toastmasters Imtiaz has been doing a great job for the last 6 months, tirelessly putting together a stage so that you all can set it on fire. Could we give a round of applause to Toastmasters? Next, Madam President walked in and she, without wasting much time, invited Secretary to give the secretarial report. And our Secretary, notwithstanding his tall tale fame, kept the secretarial report quite crisp, whilst he smartly called himself self-certified handsome man. But that side was crisp and to the point. Just one feedback, I think if you could just slow down a bit while taking the names of the winner, that would be nice. Because when you announced PTM James, then you said PTM Anand, so I was wondering who is this new member and PTM, right? So just slow down a bit. But you have been doing a great job for 6 months, putting together, sending the minutes on time, every time. Almost you are at par with Indigo in terms of the reliability. Please give a loud applause to our Then our Madam President started her presidential address, extremely eloquent as always. And her speeches are by and large conversational. It doesn't look like Her Majesty speaking, right? It's like a common man's president. So that's the feeling I at least get whenever I hear her story. And this way was extremely personal. Didn't look so, in a sense, when she started, I was not sure where it is heading to, but when she eventually spilled the beans, to hear the poignant reflection of her father and all that he went through and still raise such a responsible kid is amazing, and it was really heart-touching and moving. Very well done, madam. During the course, if I may highlight one feedback is, there were a couple of areas where you have spotlighted on certain emotions, right? When you spoke about his stepmom, those were the instances where you could have brought those raw emotions out. Maybe you could think of that. And there were a few slip of the tongue moments, maybe a little bit of preparation up front would help you avoid that. But those are very minor, and I mean, someone like her can definitely take care of that. Great. I mean, I want to place on record our gratitude to Madam President for ensuring last 6 months have been flawless and something which we all will cherish. Thank you so much, Madam President. Please do a lot of applause. Next, then we had debate speeches. The first speaker, Mr. Chandrasekhar Naik, the new brand ambassador of Bangalore Toastmasters. His speech is being related by Toastmasters.
Toastmasters, distinguished guests, General Manager, and Mr. Chandrasekhar in particular. Mr. Chandrasekhar, you have been really vacant today. You spoke about a subject which really requires improvement, and you were able to connect with the audience because the malady is affecting all of us. And what you did well, I would like to say in acronym, stage. Stage is then the theatrics, articulation, gestures, and emphasis. Stage was very effectively used. You use entire stage from there to here, and I really appreciate that. theory tricks or vocal variety or phrases, many of them, plenty of them, like turbulence. Do you like Bangalore? Do you love Bangalore? Something be done for betterment of Bangalore. Default public service, game changers, and 7 R's, really great. Articulation, you utilized a very good way of entering the minds of the people. Topics are relevant, and also first you made the people to close the eyes, and metro, which occupies the place of 1,500 cars. Yes, then walking is the best because it takes only 2 hours. It's really, you are able to drive the point. Gestures, there is absolutely no purposeless gestures. You utilize the gestures very well. You didn't waste any of your time on that. Emphasis was really good, and the words you used, change of mindset, imagining transformation, like children going to school and senior citizens after transformation. Then even the emphasis not to park the scooters, affecting the smooth flow, and the song of Kesari, and your advice, no honking, were really good. The ending of your speech was really good. If you follow the 7 R's from traffic nightmare, we will be able to change Bangalore into a beautiful city. Only nitpicking, I don't have to pinpoint exactly, but only nitpicking, that 750 cars which you showed from here, I think it occupied less space, and I think the relevance of the topic I couldn't understand better. But nevertheless, a very good speech, and we would like to hear more of such speeches. A big round of applause to Chandrasekhar.
So thank you for the clinical evaluation and nice speech to us. I think they both deserve number of applause. Next speaker is Toastmasters Village, and to deliver his evaluation not through DDs but directly, may I call on stage Toastmasters Village.
A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and your guests.
Good evening.
The project had 2 purposes. First, to define clearly how Toastmasters envision mentoring, and second, to share some aspects of a previous experience as a protege. Toastmaster Nitesh, today you delivered a very good, well-structured speech. The highlight of your speech is your storytelling ability. You had a very interesting start where you shared a short story on APJ Abdul Kalam, and the way you transitioned into your story was commendable. You had a smooth transition that not only kept us all engaged but hooked throughout your speech. The second thing that I really liked is, one thing that I observed is the way you use your pauses, and they're very aptly used. And that plays a very important role in the speech, where you give enough time to the audience to consume whatever you are sharing to them. At the same time, if I have 2 suggestions, if I need, that can add more flavor to your story, the first thing will be balancing your story. You shared 2 important people in your life who acted as a background. One was your far cousin, Ranjit Bayan, the second one was Toastmaster Alan. You had a very good story for the first person, the first mentor of your life, but the second one, I felt if you could have shared more details, it would have given more light about your growth in the journey. The second one is your conclusion. I felt you had a good story, but a conclusion was just a one-liner, is what I felt. And to do that, you could have touched upon the first aspect or the first purpose of your project, which was about how Toastmasters envision mentoring. You could have used that very smartly in your conclusion, and you have covered both the purposes. Now, since I've also seen your journey, I would want you to challenge yourself. Also, because you're right now level to project 3, start using the stage more because you were only fixed in one area when you were delivering your story, because storytelling is your strength. Start using the stage more and more purposefully. And second thing is to bring variation in your voice, because you do have that strength. All in all, I must say a fantastic story, a great speech, a little bit of attention on the suggestions will add more flavor. I look forward to hearing more speeches. All the best.
Nice speech, Toastmaster Desh, and comprehensive evaluation, Toastmaster Priyanka. And Desh, must say you are able to still have a soft voice to be as mentee, so still long way to go on that. But very nice speech and comprehensive evaluation. Let's give a lot of applause to both. Now let's come to the Sutradhar of today's meeting, Toastmaster of the day. Bhavana is doing this role for the first time, right? Being in the club for quite a long time, but first time she was taking up this role, and didn't look so. She was quite confident in the way she carried. And what really stood out for me was the way she started the meeting, right? Getting us to clap. I thought it was the least effort and maximum impact, right? Not much of calisthenics or gymnastics. Sitting there, clapping, and just ensuring everybody's alert. I think that was very well done, Bhavana. And an introduction from all the speakers, role takers, crisp to the point, some of the unknown facets she brought to the surface, and also forced us to think some of those lessons which are very close and we had forgotten. So thanks for your introduction. We could actually bring them alive. Very well done. And even her story about how her father made the birthday celebration, notwithstanding COVID, how he made it special, was extremely educating for parents like us who can say on the cake cost. so we also improvise that way. Very well done. Few suggestions. One is, once you started off with the clapping very well, you could have continued that sort of as a game, right? In between proceed. Right now, the leaderboard Toastmasters, Shreya is leading. Then after a point, Vijay Anand is catching up. So we could have just kept that intensity of the competition alive, and it would have organized that. And also, on the father's side, you could have spoken a little more. I think you underplayed that story. Maybe I think there was some more meat into that. I think you missed it. That is one thing I thought I should tell you. But all in all, a great performance, and someone doing for the first time. It looked like it. You were like a pro. Very well done. Look forward to seeing you on stage as a PM multiple times. Great job. Let's give it up for Toastmasters. Then we had Amitabh Bachchan of our club. This. Okay. Table topping master, Toastmaster Nitin. I've been seeing Toastmaster Nitin for the last 10 plus years. He pretty much looks the same. So more than anything, I want to know whether it is anorexia revital, germ crash, what is that? I really want to understand. But now coming to the performance, again, it was one more blockbuster. Table topics, we have given enough of footage in terms of very difficult, all that, right? But he calmed down the moment he stepped in, saying this will be very easy topic. Just ensure you are there on stage for 60 seconds. So instantly he calmed down. So the baseline was relaxed, and then and that was visible. Most of people would easily cross 90 minutes, right? That is what happened. Sorry, 90 seconds. And good choice of topics as well. Very simple, and at times not so simple as well. So good mix. And especially some of our veterans also, right? You rarely see Toastmaster Alok lack his usual eloquence. Right? So that's the real test of a tabletop master. The idea is those who are pro, you should challenge them, and those who are finding their feet, give them enough confidence that they believe in themselves. So very well done that. One or two suggestions, if I may. I think last couple of topics were a bit long-winded. Maybe just we could have kept it short. And in few cases, misconnecting the dots after the topics. So that is one thing I just thought I added you. All in all, again, sir, brilliant table topic session. Thoroughly enjoyed. Many times I thought I should be a speaker, and many times, or most of the time, I thought better backstage. So very well done. Let's give a lot of applause. Now I turn the spotlight to my tag team. First, we'll have to call on stage. I know for the great Toastmasters Club.
Okay, so today's meeting was really interesting. First thing, I think table topics master, Toastmaster Nitin, you set an objective of making sure everyone spoke for at least 60 seconds. That was almost met. I think 15 out of 17 speakers spoke for at least a minute. So that is really good. And even the lowest time that was spoken was 55 seconds, so it's fine. And this table talk and all the speeches from when we started and through like halfway through table topics. Remember when in the start I said I asked if your dads are yelling at you if you were getting late in the morning and I'm going to be strict and all that. I was actually very happy because from the start, from Sergeant at Arms, up to speaker number, we had 17 table topics, up to speaker number 11, we had a total of only one red card. And in the last 6, can you guess how many red cards were there? All 6 were red carded. So yeah, that is, I don't know, as the timer after what I said, I don't know how to feel about that, but it was fine. I think Nitin also, Nitin didn't make anyone's lives easy, calling them here and then giving them the topic so that you couldn't think of what to speak while coming. So that was definitely nobody's life was made easy. But yeah, I think everyone was under time, only the 6 red cards in the end table topics. And yeah, everyone was under the time.
Next, let me call on stage account for the day, Toastmaster Club.
Yeah. So, in the interest of our guests here, let me throw some light on why I'm doing my role today. Okay. So, in communication, a pass can be a beacon illuminating the message that we want to transfer from one statement to the other. Usually the filler words, on the other hand, appear to take away these transitions and lose the sight of our message. And hence, we track the filler words in the meetings so that the speakers can make a note of it and improvise in their speeches. So the next time you tended to say the filler words, remember that the pause and the silence is the beacon and your guide hand. So in the meeting today, we had close to 23 plus speakers, and it is good to see that only 5 speakers have the filler words more than 2 words, and the rest of them are all under 2 or less. And there are also speakers, especially in the impromptu. All the 8 speakers mostly are from impromptu where there are no filler words. So I see a good sense of awareness in terms of avoiding the filler words within our community. Keep going. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me call our Canadian Toastmaster Pradeep. Good evening.
Thank you. You're all right. Good. Now, let me start with the not so good usage. Let's get that out of the way first. So, when you say habits are, I expect a plural than that. It cannot be a singular habit. Probably used to had should have been used to have. how the economy is going towards, probably what the speaker meant was where the economy is headed. Fellow friends, I'm not sure if there are unfellow friends, your fellows or friends. A little more shorter, that's the clinical error here. It's little shorter. There's no more when you're already in a relative. Many amount of time, probably the speaker wanted to say lots of time or most of the time, depending on the context. Too much discussed, again, could have been discussed heavily or most discussed, again, contextually used. Help of him could have been his help. Okay. These are some minor modifications, slip of tongues, fast thinking and all that. That's okay, fine. But that was just a bad part. Now that's a way, let's focus on the good one. A lot of good usage of words, decorum, mulling over, ensemble, posterity. This is a good catchphrase. Long enough to be interesting, short enough to be intriguing. Eloquent, eloquence, articulation, and the least effort to the max impact. The word of the day was beacon. Again, it was a source of light. It was confused in a few instances, probably wrongly spelled as bacon, which is a piece of meat. An interesting one, but not what we meant. Or also in another context, it was used as a baton. A baton is a different thing. That's the one that you pass on when you move from one person to the other. Similar sounding words, but different meanings. So let's be conscious of it. There were a total of 7 members who used the word of the day. With that, I submit my report to the general evaluator.
Thank you, my tackling. A few general observations for the all tag role takers. It would be good to treat the introduction and the report very crisp, like in corporate balance they call it executive summary, right? Like that. When Pradeep started his introduction of the role, it almost looked like a prepared speech, right? So it didn't feel like introduction of Beacon. Almost I could see floodlights. So keep it short, keep it crisp, and give insights that members can take home, right? So that's what I would advise. That's it. Great job done, attacking. So please give a round of applause for it. So the password for voting is 1926. Just all broadcast roads. This is EVM issues. Okay, whilst Imtiaz is fixing that, I must say I had a great time being part of this meeting, listening to all the speeches, looking at all the role takers, the way they carry themselves, a lot to learn, a lot to understand. Though part of PTMC for the last 10 years, but still every Friday when I come here, I still feel there's a lot to learn, a lot to grow, and each and every member keeps inspiring us in their own way. Thank you so much. I had a great time, and wish you all a great weekend ahead. With that, I would pass on the stick back to Toastmasters Club.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ganesh. Let's all have a huge round of applause once again for Toastmaster Ganesh. I would like to thank Toastmaster Srinivas for giving me the role. He's not here now. I have been prolonging this taking up TMOD role for quite some time, but I had a lot of fun today. And coming back to the game I told you all about, I told that I'll give a present to 3 people, but I will give presents to 6 people. So can we all have a huge round of applause for all the role takers and for all the speakers today? meeting, then I will pass the stage back to Toastmaster.
What a beautiful show today. Before the meeting, Toastmaster Bhavna came to me and said, I'm doing it for the first time, so nervous. I'm like, come on, you will do great. And with such a sweet smile and making it look so easy peasy, she delivered her role. Can we have a big round of applause for her? Also continuing the play that she started, we had amazing speakers and role takers. I would like once again to have a big round of applause for everyone who came on stage today. With that, I have a very quick announcement. We are doing our installation for the coming executive committee on June 28th. The details about venue will be shared shortly in the group, and everyone is invited. You will get more details from the committee itself. Now it's time for us to pass on the baton to the new committee, and as I keep getting reminded that there is that heavy load of the responsibility that we are given. I'm very happy to pass on and looking forward to that. So please be there for the installation, and that is for all the members. Now let's quickly do the awards. Best auxiliary role taker goes to Toastmaster Pradeep Padmanabhan. Best Role Taker Award, we have a tie here, and goes to Toastmaster Ganesh Pai and Toastmaster Nitin B. Both are the Amitabh Bachchan of our Evaluator Award goes to our past president, Toastmaster Priyanka Ranure. Best Table Topic Award. Well, looks like the one who can make the table topic look so easy, just because it might have been leaked out. Distinguished Toastmaster Shashank Bhatt. And last, the Best Speaker Award goes to someone who urged everyone to become better citizens. Toastmaster Chandrasekhar Naik. With that, we have a special meeting, business meeting today by our treasurer, and we will, and that is, I would I will request all the members to stay back for that meeting. For our guests, please meet our VP membership, Balakrishna. Could you raise your hand? Yeah, please meet him after collecting your snacks outside the hall. And members, please stay back for our business meeting.